Hello, 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 and welcome to Dylan's Dive Bar. I am your host, Randy Glover, aka Elaine Dylan, and tonight we have a very special show for you tonight. So, as you can see, I am broadcasting from the house. So, our guest is not going to be in the dive bar today, it's going to be virtual. So, we are kind of doing an at home version of the Dylan's Dive Bar. So, for this is your first time on Dylan's Dive Bar, this podcast is about conversations, community, and cocktails. So we have conversations that spark change, provoke thought, challenge us to be better versions of ourselves. And we do community because we support each other in our journeys into becoming better versions of ourselves. And of course, cocktails. So what would the dive bar be without cocktails? So the funny thing tonight about our cocktails is we're going to do lady choice. Okay, so whatever you're sipping on, you put that down in the comments because tonight we're both kind of taking it easy on the cocktails tonight. So, water. So, think of whatever you consider bar water. That's what you're doing tonight. All right, so let's jump right on into our quick dips, guys. So, our quick dip, if this is your first time watching, is just my opinion on a subject matter. That's pretty much how it is. It's just something that I thought is important. And my quick dip tonight is about don't just let life happen to you. Okay. Life has ups and downs. There are things that are going to happen. You can have as many plans as you want to, but that doesn't mean that life has to follow them. And they always have this saying, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him what you have planned. We can make plans all day, but sometimes life is on life, and we have to figure out a way to make it work for us. So, one of the things that I have always said is that there are solutions all around us. Whatever your problem is, there are solutions. Complaining is not a solution. Whining about it is not a solution. Not doing anything, that's definitely not a solution. So work the solutions that are around you until you find the one that works for you. And just keep in mind that life doesn't owe you anything. No chips on your shoulder, no being upset that something has happened. You pick yourself up, you keep going, because life should not just happen to you and you're a visitor in your own life. You need to participate. So do what you need to do to stay motivated, to make whatever changes need to happen, make adjustments, because life is what you make of it. No matter what you see on TV, we get one life, and you don't want to waste it letting it happen to you and not being an active participant in your life. So that is my quick tip. Put down in the comments things that you've gone through this week since we were together last Thursday, and tell me how you solved it. I would love to hear about that so we can continue to support each other. But just remember that you don't want the tough times to harden you. You want them to strengthen you for the next tough time, because they're going to happen. That's just part of life. So remember, don't let life happen to you. Be an active participant. All right, so that's my quick dip off my soapbox. Now let's move on to our restaurant shout out. So our restaurant shout out tonight is Whataburger. And now, don't get me wrong, the Whataburger burger was, a regular smegular burger. I'm pretty sure if you make your burger at home with your own little seasonings, you probably be like, my burger's better. However, the reason I'm doing the restaurant shout out for them is because the customer service at the Acres Mill location in Marietta was top notch. That was actually my first time going to Whataburger. And the gentleman that took my order in the drive-thru was so thorough, but he was so kind and he was patient. He answered my questions and he offered things like, hey, you want that burger cut in half? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, let's do that. I wanted to do the creamy pepper sauce they have like dipping sauce on the side, because I'm like, that sounds like it's really good. And he was like, I've never tried it, but let's go ahead and get you some in there. Cool. He didn't charge me for the creamy pepper sauce, which is even better. So I'd have to try it. But customer service, y'all, it goes such a long way. And in this industry, you have got to learn how to do customer service. That is a must. Okay. Even if you don't like your job, you do not spread that to other people, especially your customers. So he was just so thorough. He was so polite. The people at the window, they were polite. They made sure we had everything we needed. They didn't act like the ketchup was coming out of their pocket and napkins was coming out of their budget. We asked for stuff, they gave it to us. So I am doing the shout out for them because their customer service was absolutely amazing. Now, I do like their fries. And if you know me, fries are important. I'm a potato person, so I will go back and get some fries from Whataburger, but I may not necessarily, jump hoops over the burger, but the customer service will make me come back and try other stuff. So that's our restaurant shout out. This week, Whataburger in the Acres Mill location in Marietta. Definitely check them out. So this week, I have a poll question for you, and it is: how long have you been in the hood of motherhood? So when did you become a member of the motherhood gang? How long have you been a mom? What year did you become a mom? If you want to name the child that made you a mom, all that good stuff. How long have you been in the hood of motherhood? Okay, drop that down in the comments. How long have you been a mom? And shout out to all our moms. Shout out to my mommy. Y'all met her in season 1, and she's absolutely amazing. And I got to see her today. So, just some good news to share with the dive bar community. Your girl got a new car, and I am so excited. So, last Thursday, I was actually getting ready for the podcast, and my car died on me. And when I say died, I mean it was no more. It was bleeding oil in the street, all that. My car was dead and gone, like T.I. and Justin Timberlake, dead and gone. So for the last 7 days, I have not had a car, and I cannot tell you how annoying that was. But I am so blessed to have people who stepped up for me. My best friend came and got me. Y'all know Lady Cole. She came and got me while my car was bleeding in the street, and she took me where I needed to go to get stuff for the podcast. And then Friday, she literally spent all day with me getting everything ready, going to my storage unit and getting stuff for my company. I own an entertainment company, and we had a huge concert that we were bartending last Saturday, and I had to go liquor, beer, wine, cups, stuff. I mean, just stuff. Her poor car. I heard it cry when we put all the boxes and stuff in it, but she drove me everywhere on Friday and just spent the whole day with me. And then Saturday, I got to hang out with my brother, and of course, he had to drive, so that was great. My dad has been taking me to work all week, getting up, taking me in the morning. My friend Nita, y'all met her in season 1. She was letting me use her car when I got off work to do stuff. So it's really nice when you have tough times, you have people step up for you. So shout out to them. But today, my dad picked me up from work, and we went to the Hyundai dealership, and I got a brand new 2024 Hyundai Tucson. Y'all, oh my gosh, my car is so pretty. And this is the first time in my life I've ever had a brand new car. Every car I've ever had up until today has been a used car. But today, and I was looking at used cars. I was like, let me go ahead and get this used car. And my dad was like, it's actually easier for you to get in a new car. And I was like, they ain't not going to give me no used car. And they did, y'all. And my salesperson was so funny. His name is Reed. So shout out to Reed. He's like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to talk to them and get them to take some of this car down and discount it. And we're going to get you in the car. And so he comes out. He needs to be in drama, y'all. He was like, all right, he's going to discount this $4,000 so you can get in this car if you can give me a little more on the down payment. So I did kind of, give myself some cushion. I told them I could do a certain number just to see what they would say. And they were like, okay, if you give me this, okay, I can up the down payment if y'all can give me that. So I did give them a little more down payment. I told him originally, but he was so funny, y'all. He was like, he's going to discount the car. He's going to do this for you. It was hilarious. And so my dad made mention that he bought his Hyundai there because they do a referral program. And so my dad asked the other person about it, the GM. And so Reed comes back and he goes, you know what I was thinking? You probably had a lot to do with her coming here. You deserve something. We're going to get you that referral. And me and my dad could not stop laughing because we were like, look at you being all dramatic. Yes. But Reed was so great. He hooked up my Blue Link and everything. So shout out to Reed at Hyundai. It was a great experience. And we were only there 3 hours, like three and a half hours. And normally when you go get a car, it's all day. Just cancel all your plans because you're going to be there forever. We weren't. And I'm just so thankful that I was only without a car for 7 days. God is so amazing, y'all. So I'm super excited. Now, just my little some. So y'all know what your girl's been going through for the last 7 days. I do want to talk to y'all about our topic tonight, about motherhood. I am being joined by a very special guest. She is actually one of my students, one of my graduates. So shout out to ABC Bartending School. Y'all know that I've been doing that for almost 3 years now. We're going on we're going on 3 years me teaching there. I've met some amazing, incredible people, and I've been so blessed to stay in touch with a lot of them. So when I found out that she was pregnant, I was over the moon. She's actually also one of my employees for All That Jazz. So I was like, we have a company baby. So I was so excited for her. So when we come back from this quick break, you are going to get to meet her, Miss Lashaun McKenzie, and she's going to share with us all of her adventures into motherhood. And we're going to talk with her about her cutie pie. Oh my gosh, she's so freaking cute, y'all. So we're going to talk to her about being a new mom and sharing all of her experiences. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. If you don't have your drink, now's the time to go grab it. We'll be right back. Dylan's Dive Bar. And it is Welcome to the Hood, Motherhood. We'll see you in a second. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. So you just saw our amazing lineup. I Am Woe Media Group is really just taking off, guys. So we have the I Am Woe podcast that's on Sundays, and then Mondays we have All Things Undone with Granny. She is Jayhawk. Tuesdays Breaking Barriers. Then Wednesday we have the Underground Sports King. Thursday we have the Core Queen with Dee Dee and your girl Elaine Dillon at the Dillon's Dive Bar, and then once a month you get some hot tea with She Talking Tea and Less Lady Code show. So we have something for absolutely everybody. Tune in. And then we have like a special kind of like one night only reunion coming up with Woe and some of his partners who started with his own podcast, sports podcast, before he came to being I Am Woe. So tune in next week so you can catch what these gentlemen are going to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in our special guest tonight, Miss Lashaun McKenzie.
Hello, everyone.
Yay! There she is. There she is. Darling, how are you doing?
I am good. I'm happy to be here. I feel honored that you called little old me to be on here.
Yes. So how are you? How are we doing? How is little man?
So he's amazing. I mean, but what mom wouldn't say that about her child? But I'm not gonna
Girl,
lie.
I would be
Like,
worried.
there
Oh,
you
look at that
go.
cutie pie. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
girl. I was like, he is so cute. And he looks like he got all kind of personality in
Oh
this
my
picture right now.
gosh, he really does. Like right before we came on, the reason why I asked you if I could wear headphones because he was downstairs screaming. Like, and not in like a hollering, I'm sad, mad, whatever. Like he was talking and just like, we went to go pick up some food right before we logged on,
Right.
and we in the Mexican restaurant, and he is just turning up, but not like I said, he's just happy. His
He
little
said, look,
baby
I'm
that was
excited.
sitting
Get this
across
stuff.
from us was looking back like this. So my fiance goes, "Oh, is he making too much noise?" But yeah, he's really such a pleasant baby, just like a joy to be around. Like everybody that is around him is like, "Oh my god, like you just can't stop looking at him. You just can't help but smile. You just want to hold him and just love on him." Like
Aww.
when I tell you, like both of our families, like this is what we needed from like just stuff that have gone on before me and my fiance got together. It's just like he's like the healing that both sides of the family needed. Like he just
Aww.
brings joy to everybody. It's actually kind of crazy.
I
But he
love that.
came at a perfect time. I mean, there's obviously stuff that in our lives we're still trying to accomplish, but it's like he came at the perfect time. If we had planned, like you see how you was talking about plans for your life
Girl.
and let God laugh at you,
Girl.
that was us.
Rolling.
Right. That was us because if I mean, I've always said that I wanted a kid before 30, but I also wanted to have some stuff set in stone before that happened. Those stuff obviously have yet to happen, but he's here before 30. So that goal came to pass. I just turned
A
30. So
win is a
he
win.
came, right. He came a couple months before I turned 30. But motherhood is amazing. I will say, like, part of me feels like I haven't gotten the true dose of motherhood because I have so much help.
Yeah.
Because we live in the house with my in-laws and they're like super helpful, super hands-on. Like they have him like half the time, then we have him half the time. So it's like when we move out, I don't know what we're gonna do. Cause it's like now we have that standard that was set where it's like, okay, well, we have everybody hands on. Like I don't know what he gonna do if at a point in time somebody can't get to him when he need them to get to him because then it's gonna be like,
Okay.
well, it's only mommy and daddy now. So
Girl, he gonna be on the phone snitching to y'all. Look,
right.
it took them 3 whole minutes, okay, to get
And
me
they already told him
situated.
like, you call us. If they not doing what you need them to do, you call us. I'm
And
like,
he
oh
will.
Lord. Right, exactly.
Girl, parents who become grandparents, it's a totally different thing. Like I've always said, like once my sister started having kids
Mhm.
and my parents became grandparents, I was
Mhm.
looking at them like, who are you? And what
Right.
have you done with the people that raised me? The people I had, I still have
Yes.
fear of. Like, who are, like my
Yes.
dad taught my oldest niece when she was like probably like 2.
Mhm.
He was upset. And I'm sitting here like, I get why she hurt.
Why
But
you mad?
like, he was sad. Sorry. Who are you and what have you done with my father?
Right.
Like, what? He was giving them Oreo cookies in the morning. If like when we went out of town one time, they spent the night with him. They were late to school because he made them a hot breakfast. And I'm like, wait, what? He was like, I can't let them babies leave without a hot breakfast. You pushed us out the door with a Pop Tart that didn't even
Right.
hit the toaster. What you mean? Like, girl,
Exactly.
when I say grandparents are
Yeah,
hypocrites,
it's like you was never like this. Like, you made sure we were good, but you lay out the red carpet for this one.
girl,
Red carpet. And it's like
spotlight, diamonds.
you got to make them flashback like, were you like this with your kids?
Okay.
No.
But the funny thing is, my dad would say the same thing about his parents. Like, we went over to my grandparents' house, his
Mhm.
parents' house, and me and my sister are literally like jumping all over the couch. And
Mhm.
he's like, sit down, stop. And my grandmother's like, leave those babies alone. And he's like, you would have took my head off
Right.
if I was climbing on your couch like this. But with us, he's like, leave them babies alone. So I'm like, oh, so I see this is just something just passed down
Yeah.
to
And
generations.
I don't even think they realize that they do it. Like they
Not
do when
until
you
we
bring
bring it
it
up.
to their attention. Right.
And they laugh. They think
Yeah.
it's hilarious. They be like, "Oh yeah, huh?" No, 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 no. I wasn't bringing that up so we could, bond over it. I'm
Right.
like, we were bringing that up for a reason. Like, what?
Exactly.
So yes, grandparents they're hilarious. They
They
are super
surely are.
hilarious. So talk to us about your journey of motherhood. How first of all, how was the pregnancy? What did you experience when you were
Pregnancy
pregnant?
pregnancy was phenomenal. I always
Really?
tell people if it could be like that every pregnancy, I don't
Yeah.
mind having them at all.
Right.
He was really a joy. Honestly, so he was real chill. Like, he wasn't one of them babies that was like bouncing like they just got like a dose of B12. Like,
Right.
he did his little kicks and stuff. And you know what, too, though? Like, I felt it more than people could see it because my placenta was in the front.
Oh,
So it was like the placenta was in between like the surface of my stomach and where he was at. So
okay.
if you looked really closely, you could see like little thumps, but I'm feeling him like a little harder thumping in there, right? So I'll be like, "Oh my god, he's moving." Everybody's like, "I don't see it." I'm like, "Dang." Like, so disappointed, so hurt. But I was like, "You know what? This is my moment and his moment. Like, we're
Right.
just like, this is just our bond at this point." Um,
It's
I
so funny
will
to his privacy.
right. I will say so in the beginning, I got like the whole nausea and the heartburn. Then it went away. Second trimester was none of that stuff. I was just like, everybody's like, "You sure you having a baby?" Like, family members was like, "You're just bouncing around, like just doing everything." And I'm like, I mean, I don't want to. I gotta
Yeah.
enjoy it while I can because I know at the end I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god, get this baby out of me."
Right.
Um, but I did get a lot of heartburn at the end, which he came out with a whole head of hair. I will say, well, let's go through the whole. I got induced, which ended up leading. So anytime you get induced or anybody gets induced, it's like, you're putting your body through something that it's not naturally trying to do. So
Okay.
it becomes more like the contractions are much worse than if your body was just doing it itself.
Okay.
So the whole induction part, I ended up in the hospital 2 days before my induction was set because some insurance stuff. I got super stressed out, started crying. My blood pressure went up. They were like, "We can't let you leave here.
Oh my
You,
goodness.
we like if it doesn't go down by the next reading, we're gonna have to wheel you over to the hospital." Ended up in the hospital Thursday. I was mad because I was just like, I was supposed to go home and wash my hair today. I was supposed to go home and do this, prepare, pack the bags, all that stuff.
Yes.
Did not happen. So Friday night into Saturday, so this is November 3rd into the 4th. Um, that's when they started the Pitocin. So they did everything else to lead into the Pitocin. So like ripening my cervix and stuff, and then the Pitocin started. And I was managing. And I will say my fiance is amazing. Okay. Like all he was left to do was get his degree that night because he was so helpful, not just to me,
Oh.
but to the nurses. And so I was going through it. He was walking around with me. I was like, "You sure you don't want to get sleep?" He said, "So you could yell at me." And then
That's a trap, but that's a setup. No, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake.
so he's like walking around the room with me because like I felt like that was very helpful. Then I ended up doing they had like this thing that they can give you that it's not epidural, but it can kind of take the edge off. I can't remember what it's called. I did
Okay.
2 rounds of that. It lasts for like about an hour. And yeah, it wasn't very helpful. Like it took the edge off, like they said, but I was still feeling it. But I was fighting
Right.
through it. Then my water finally broke around like 5 something. And my mom and my mother-in-law and the doctor was like, "Yeah, it's only gonna get worse." I was like, "You know what? Let me go ahead and just
Thank
get that.
you.
Let me just get that epidural because I was trying not to do it. Originally, I wanted a home birth, and I'm hoping to do that
Really?
for my next child.
Okay.
Yes, but yeah, the midwife was just like, "I'm cool with you starting now, but I just don't want nothing to happen closer to the time, and then you lose all your money." So I was just like, "You know what? Okay, cool." So got the epidural around 7 a.m. My blood pressure jumped up. His heart rate started to dip.
Oh my goodness.
They started flipping me and doing all that stuff, trying to do interventions to like get us both regulated. Finally did probably around like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then I slept all the way until maybe like 4 p.m. So they're seeing like the contractions on the machine and stuff like that, but then they would check me and I was not as far dilated as I should have been. So they're like,
Okay.
"You're still the same as when your water broke at 5 a.m." So I'm like, "Okay." So they're
What?
like,
What? 12 hours later?
right.
Wow.
So it was like 4 or 5 p.m. and they're checking me. They're like, "Yeah, it's not progressing. So we might have to talk about a C-section." I'm like, "I do not want to have a C-section." So I'm like, God, please, like everything else has not been going the way that I wanted it to. Lord, please just let me not have a C-section. Please, please, please. So I'm like, can you just help me to get dilated? So around 5 p.m., they checked me again. I went from 5 to 7. So they're like, okay, cool. All
Moving,
right. We're
moving.
making some progress.
Yes.
Then I started feeling pain on my lower right side. And I told them, and they were like, are you sure it's pain or is it pressure? I said, this is not pressure. I've been feeling a little bit of pressure throughout the day. I would press the little button that they gave me with the epidural and it would push it away. That was pain.
Oh
And
my
they're like,
goodness.
okay, cool. So, the anesthesiologist, they did a shift change around 6 something, like 6:45. She came in, she's like, I'll be right back with you. But it wasn't like super painful. So I was able to bear it, but I just know that I noticed it.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, I'm gonna come right back. She came back, they upped my dosage of the epidural. Um, and the same thing that happened in the morning happened in the evening. So my heart rate went up. I mean, my blood pressure went up, his heart rate went down.
Oh my
They were
gosh.
like, yeah, no, we're gonna have to do a C-section. I bawled my
Oh,
eyes out. And then I was like, so the doctor's like, what do we strive for? And I'm like, healthy mom, healthy baby.
it's mantra. Healthy mom.
So
What?
with tears rolling down my face, I'm like, healthy mom, healthy baby. She's like, okay, so this is what's gonna be best for the both of you. I'm like, can
Oh
we
wow.
just pray before we go in? I'm like, because only God is gonna help me to get through this right now.
Oh
So
my gosh.
my mother-in-law, and my boyfriend, my fiance, we all kind of like huddled in. They prayed over me, and then I was like, like a spirit of peace just came over me, and I was like, okay, this is not what I wanted to do, but obviously it's for the best. So they rolled
Yeah.
me in there. C-section happened. Come to find out, I believe she said something to the effect of like the cord might have been around his neck or something like that. So it was
Oh my
good. It was a
gosh.
good thing that we did the C-section. Um, and then I got a fever, like a high fever after he was born,
Are
and
you
they had
kidding me?
yeah. And then we both had to get put on antibiotics, and then I already had to be on magnesium because I had a few high readings of my blood pressure. And so they were like, it might be, it's small signs of preeclampsia, so we just got to put you on the mag just to make sure, because we don't need you to actually get eclampsia.
Yeah.
It was a journey.
I see. My goodness.
It was a journey.
Wow.
But now he's here. He's an
Yes.
amazing baby. It's all trial and error. We've been his skin has been giving us an issue, and so that's the reason why I'm just like, it's trial and error, because he ended up having to get, like, they gave us some creams and stuff for him around 1 month. I think that thing dried out his skin like
Oh
really
no.
badly. So now he's showing as if he has eczema, and nothing against eczema, but I've just never had, like, I don't know anybody in my family that has it, and neither does my fiance or his side of the family know of anything. So I'm just like, okay, well, where is it coming from? But
Right.
after some research, I'm realizing too that it can also be something internally. So like his body's response to something that he's intaking. So we've
Okay.
had to switch his formula a couple times, to try to do something that, either if it has milk proteins in it, it's like knocking it all the way, like it's breaking it all the way down. As well as I had to take dairy out of my diet because I am still supplementing with formula and breast milk. Um, Yeah, so it's a lot. We went back for his 4 month appointment today, and she was like, "Yeah, his skin didn't look like this last time." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Well, you don't have to tell me, sweetie. I've noticed every single thing that's
Right.
happened here.
So she gave us some solutions. So we got to follow up next week. But other than that, like just him as a baby in general, he's amazing. And thank
I
God I
love
didn't go through
that.
postpartum depression. I mean, I had my emotional moments, but I will say, like, I didn't get to the lows of the lows.
Right.
Yeah,
And I
so
think it's just because your hormones at that time, like your hormones are still
right,
just everywhere. And it's like we have got to get back into a part where it's settled down and stuff like that.
exactly.
So that's great. So
Hmm.
why did you have to get induced? Were you having issues toward the end of the pregnancy?
So they said he was looking like he was gonna be big if I let him stay until the end. He was gonna be like 9, 10 pounds. And I was like, I really didn't think he was gonna be that big.
Oh.
Um, but I will say that I was also nervous because at that point I'm like, okay, well, it's probably gonna be a C-section if I wait till the end and he's that big because they're not gonna let me push him out. So I'm like, okay, well, let's do an induction. I know people that have had inductions and they have a natural birth. But for some reason, last year, a lot of people that have posted about having inductions have had a C-section.
Mm.
So I don't know if these hospitals have a quota that they're trying to meet right now. Don't know.
We need 15 C-sections
Per month.
per month. We need 15 inductions,
Right.
15 C-sections, and 20 natural births. That's what we
Right.
need. We
Exactly.
mark it off.
So I'm just
Wow.
like, is this a thing of 2023? What's going on?
So how big was he when he was born?
7 pounds, 12 ounces, and he was 21 inches.
That's a long baby. He's gonna be
So
tall.
he's 25 inches now. And what was he today? 16 ounces and 16 ounces and 6.8. No,
Oh
16
my goodness.
pounds and then 6.8 ounces. There we go. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Derek said we don't want the answer to that. Oh my, y'all don't want the answer to that.
Oh Lord.
I mean, I've had people who had, C-section and natural births, and it just seemed like either way it go,
Yeah.
it's a journey.
I
It's
will
a journey
say
either way.
though, C-section, and obviously I can't speak from a natural birth, but C-section, it was rough because I would be hearing him crying whether we were in the hospital or at home, and I couldn't get to him as fast as I wanted to
Yeah.
because I'm literally trying to get up and I had to push past the pain, which
Yeah.
is not good because I could have like pulled something or whatever getting up the way that I was getting up.
Hard headed. Hard
Not on
headed.
purpose. I was trying to do the roll and come up and it wasn't happening. So I
He
was
said
just
the
trying
getting
to
up
like
in stages was not working.
exactly. So I was just like, okay. All right. Yes. Okay. But the doctor they had like this plaster over it that helped it to heal. And I think that was very helpful
Okay.
to kind of keep everything because when we would go back to for my checkups, they said everything looked good because I'm like, oh Jesus, like they're probably gonna tell me, girl, what the hell have you been doing? Because
Okay. They're like, we told you cannot do crunches. For you, be like, look.
I had to get to the baby. Like,
Right. I love that. Okay,
yeah.
so when you were pregnant, were you
Hmm.
reading a lot of books like, what to expect when you're expecting or things like that? Or were you just kind of like listening to just, those who are around you giving you advice? How did you handle that?
So I had a little bit of everything. Sometimes got a little bit of unsolicited advice.
What? People gave you their opinion without you asking?
Yeah.
How
And
crazy is that?
it's like, it's not even that they gave advice. It was just like certain advice. I'm just like, why are you speaking that over my child? Like, just because your child went through that, or just because like somebody else's kid, don't speak that over my child's life. Like,
Okay.
anyway,
We ain't even dealing with that.
but we had so our like every new week started on a Saturday. So like whenever I would turn 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever amount of weeks it was a Saturday. So every Saturday, me and my fiance would get a notification on our phone, like it's this week, the baby's the size of this, and
Aw.
here's like the growth that's happened between last week and this week and things like that. So we got a lot of our what to expect from what to expect at.
Okay.
Um, but we got a little bit of everything, and then I would like whatever the doctors would tell me, I would kind of either go on TikTok University.
Girl, TikTok and it's like some people go to TikTok University, some people go to YouTube College. It just
Yes,
depends.
mine was TikTok because my fiance was like, at this point, you need to go get your degree from TikTok. Because we'd go to doctor's appointments and I'm like, yes, I was watching TikTok and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I'm just like, I mean, I'm not
With
here
her
trying to
medical
say,
degrees.
I'm not here trying to say like TikTok is going to give me 100% of, like whatever worked for them might not work for me, but I'm going to throw it out there to
Right.
the doctors because like they might not be like, okay, so what I'm trying to say is they might not have thought to give me that advice, but me bringing it up
Okay.
to verify whether it can be helpful or not, I feel like they can
Yeah.
verify like, okay, well, it's worked for some people or it's worked for me. That is a good idea. You can try that.
Right.
Or be like, okay, well, wait till you're about like 32 weeks before you do that.
Okay.
So, it was more so of that. It just made me have more questions for them.
Okay.
And I'm like, they were probably tired of me asking all these questions, but I need to know what's
You
going
know
on.
what? I think like when it comes to like people who are like in a field or like they, specialize in something, they would rather you ask questions than go off half cocked and do something and then they gotta go back and fix some stuff you
Right.
messed up. So I tell people like my clients will be like, I know you're sick of me asking this question. Please ask.
Mm-hmm.
Please ask. Ask, ask, ask. Should we do that? No, no, don't do that.
Don't do
No.
that.
My friend did this at her wedding and no, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And it's like I tell them all the time, please ask,
Uh-huh.
ask, ask, ask. Even if I don't get to you like in that second, text me so I can get back to you because please don't go off half cocked and go buy something and I'll be looking at you like, what the hell is this?
Right.
What are we supposed to do with this? So, girl, they were glad you asked. And they probably was like, if she asked me about TikTok one more time,
Exactly.
like, don't tell me no more what TikTok University said. But still,
So
like,
sometimes I had to reword what I said and just take the TikTok part out. I was looking it up and
right? So a friend had mentioned that they did. Was this a friend on TikTok? No,
not at all.
no.
One of my
I
friends
left
that was
TikTok
pregnant
alone.
like a couple years ago, yeah. So,
She might have said something, and I was like,
hmm
no, because we can't keep saying TikTok. Like Facebook. Is Facebook better? I got it off Facebook. No, no. Google. Google. What did Google say? No,
shoot, they
not
hate
at all.
Google too. WebMD?
Girl.
Oh Jesus, they can't stand that place.
Girl, I know my doctors will always tell me stuff like, but please don't self-diagnose yourself. Do not go online and look up symptoms. And you come into me, I got a brain tumor. No, you don't.
Yes, I do
Shut
that
up.
so much. I'll feel like a little pain or something, or I'll get a headache. I'll be like, "What does a headache on the right side mean?" And then they'll say something outlandish, and I'm like,
Girl,
"Okay, I don't
now
think
you
that's
over
what's
here trying to
happening to me."
update the wheel.
Oh my,
And
literally,
then all of a sudden, all those stuff come up and your phone be listening to you. So then all of a sudden your timeline, have you ever had this? You should join this study. Don't go in there being a guinea pig and all you got is a headache. Stop it. Like, don't, girl. I know
they give
doctors be looking
they
like,
give
if
you
y'all don't
something
get
that
offline.
you definitely ain't have, and now you got it.
Okay. And then with these horrible side effects, you'd be like, I'll
Talk
stick with
about
the
it,
thing. Like,
right?
because if the side effect, when they say possibly death, and that is the side effect that we gonna leave alone.
The fact that you just said that, right? Okay, so when I had to sign my paperwork for delivery,
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
they in one of their statements said something about death. I'm like, why? In God's green earth, would you ever put death in a statement? And before I even signed it, I was like, why
This
does
is
it
something
say? They're
that
like,
I could
oh,
die.
well, we have to say it because, anything can happen.
And then when you get concerned, they say, but no, we've done this so many times, it's fine.
Right,
But you want me to sign a piece of paper on the off chance that I'm the motherfucker that it don't work out for.
right.
Like, what?
And I've had
That's why your
surgeries
blood
in the
pressure went
past,
up.
and nothing has ever said anything about death. So why
Girl,
this?
I can't stand that when they're like, oh, it's just in case.
Just in
What
case you slip
the
up? I think I had told you about that. I probably can't talk about that on this. Never mind.
Look, we'll talk in the after show and we may post a later post. Look, we have to check with our legal department. Make sure we in the clear. Wait, make sure we
Just
in the
something
clear.
I had heard happened at a hospital, and yeah, the surgeon nicked an artery
No.
and had to leave the person open, and it was like for months. I think she said she went in for like a regular hysterectomy, and the and this is the chief of surgery. Let's just
It
say that
dislocated some shit. Just
did
all the
some
way.
just nicked the artery, just like yeah, yeah.
And see, that's why
And
when
then
they be all excited, oh, you need surgery. Do I?
hmm
Do I? Do you really need do I? Let's leave legal matter. I'll just, I'll be looking at them like, look, before you start cutting on me like sushi, can we just,
right,
are we sure that we have exhausted all options
exactly.
before I got to go under I'm unconscious and you playing operation on me? Like
hmm
I need us to make sure.
And
I ain't mad at
don't
you.
give me the student, but it's like it's crazy because like sometimes it's not even the students; it be the people that be talking about they've been in it for years.
Because they swear they know everything. Like it's people
Hmm
who do not continue to be students of their craft
Right.
because they feel like I've been doing this so long, I'm good.
I can do it
Stuff
with
changes
my eyes
all the time.
closed.
Right. Open your damn eyes and stop playing with me. That's not comforting.
Right.
Because
Don't do it.
now I know you in there trying to prove it. Look, watch. And you got your damn eyes closed over me. Get your eyes. Wake up. Go open your eyes. No, don't try to prove that with me. Do that with somebody else.
Right.
So I think it's like you have to continue to just like whatever your
hmm
craft is, continue to study your craft because you have new things coming up all the time, technology's changing, all that
Right.
stuff. Like don't ever get complacent, like, oh, I've been doing this for so long. I can no, you cannot. No, you
hmm
cannot just no. Absolutely. All right.
Never.
So we have now entered motherhood and your TikTok, which I find so entertaining. I must admit is so entertaining. What made you decide to chronicle, the journey of motherhood on TikTok?
So I've always wanted to be TikTok famous. I didn't know whether it was gonna be like I would always see people's like families and they're posting like their daily stuff, and it's like I enjoy watching this. I'm like maybe somebody would enjoy watching mine.
Yes.
And then also knowing how like there was certain stuff that I would look up and I would not, nobody had anything about it. So I'm like, okay, well, let me talk about this. And then sometimes it leads me into talking about something else. So it's more so about like now I feel like it's more about other people learning about something that I had to learn by actually going through the process
Yeah.
versus like I mean, if I get famous, I get famous. That's cool. But I also feel like it's nice for somebody to come on and find what they're looking for. So
Yeah.
like I've even created like a mommy group chat with some of my friends that I grew up with that are also moms now. And we kind of like bounce ideas off for each other. Or like if one
Yeah.
mom that's kid is older, we could be like, oh, have you guys gone through this? Oh my God, I'm going through that right now. Or like I went through that last month or whatever the case is. So it's like I have that plus like people will comment what they've gone through on not Instagram, TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like I don't know. I'm trying to build like a community so that like, nobody feels like that they're by themselves
Yeah.
going through this process. And I'm not gonna lie, this whole breast milk journey, it's it's not for the weak.
It's not. It's
No.
not. You
And I
tried
wanted
several products.
right. I'm on my last one now though. I'm not spending no more money on any of these people's products. This one, I mean, I just started this week, so I can't really give too much on it, but I
Okay.
feel like I have noticed like it adding more nutrients. Like it looks more nutritious and more like milky, like kind of thicker a little bit, but I haven't noticed the increase quite yet. And I will say
Okay.
that's also probably my fault just because like I wish I was still latching him. And only because the only reason I stopped was because not gonna lie, I've worked in childcare for years, and I know that babies eat every 2 to 3 hours. When I was in the hospital, I was feeding him when he wanted to eat versus
Yeah.
like, okay, it's been some hours. Let me just latch him. So they came in, when we were about to leave, and they're just like, okay, well, he's dropping, he dropped a couple ounces. And so once they go below a certain amount of ounces, we got to ask you to supplement just so that we're making sure he's gaining weight.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, I got discouraged. I'm like, is my body not producing enough? And blah, blah, blah. And not realizing at the time that I just needed to be latching him more. So I came home and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pump and do it that way just so that I know how much he's getting.
Okay.
But when you don't latch, it kind of causes your body to not realize that you need more than what it's producing. So if I was
Okay.
latching him and pumping, I would have been good. We probably wouldn't have to do the whole formula thing. But because I'm only pumping, and then there's days where like he might not be cooperating with me, like he wants to be held. So I'm like, okay, I'll start a pump session, and like he's laughing, playing, and then he's like, no, I want to be picked up now. So I'm like, okay, well, I try to hold him with it, and he's just like legs all over the place, and I'm like, okay, let me
So we're trying to
disconnect.
multitask here.
Right. I'm like, okay, well, let me just disconnect. And so like sometimes like I'll miss pump sessions and stuff like that. So it's caused me to have to keep supplementing, which I'm just happy that he's getting breast milk as like part of his nutrition anyway.
Yeah.
So grateful for what I have. But I learned what I need to do better next time
Okay.
versus what I did now.
So what products have you tried?
So I've done Legendary Milk. They have Liquid Gold. They have the Sunflower Lecithin, I think it's called. That one is just supposed to like help you to like the milk ducts, like to unclog them so that they're producing. The Liquid Gold is supposed to more so enrich your milk versus like allowing you to produce more. Some people do see like a increase in their production, but most people say that it just kind of enriches their milk.
Okay.
I did love that one, but then I'm like, okay, well, let me try something else because I wanted to see if
Okay.
something would increase. But so I tried Miss Patel's, which it was okay. Like I felt like I might have seen a little bit of an increase, but then one day I did the tea and I felt like my next session was dry, and I was like, whoa.
Oh no.
I said, and I have the box downstairs still with a bunch of tea bags. I said, I'm not drinking this anymore because I refuse.
Yeah.
But I feel like it also enriched, but did not increase.
Okay.
So now I'm on Milky Mama. They have this thing
Okay.
called emergency brownies that like a lot of moms have said, like when their supply started to dip, whether they were sick or their cycle started or whatever the case is, it helped for it to come back.
Okay.
And then they have another product called Lady Leche, which is like it's a drop. So you you squeeze it and then you put it under your tongue. You can do 1 to 2 times a day.
So we
It's
got
not,
drops and
yeah.
brownies.
And then pump and punch. So it's like a fruit punch that's supposed to help. I haven't tried that one yet. I got it this week, but I haven't tried it yet. So sorry. I don't know who that is, but so it I feel like it's doing something. It's
Okay.
only been like today's like day 3. So like I said, I can't really speak on it. I will be talking more about it on my TikTok within the next week.
Okay.
But those are the 3 that I've tried, and honestly, I'm hoping and praying that this one works because I don't got time to keep spending money. My fiance keep looking at me like, "What are you spending money on now?" Like,
Mine's Amazon box.
I thought you said that last supplement was the last one you were gonna buy, and now you're buying another one. And I'm like, okay, well, this one I promise you is the last one.
I love it. All right, guys, we're going to take another quick break. And we are here with Miss Lashaun McKenzie talking about the joys of motherhood and lactation. So we're going to come back after this break, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the wonderful world of motherhood with Mackenzie. I call her Mackenzie. I always have. So Mackenzie's coming back with us. So stay tuned, and remember, put your comments and your questions in the comment section. We'll be answering those later. It's Dylan's Dive Bar. We'll be right back. What's up? We are back at Dylan's Dive Bar. So remember, March 13th, come watch the reunion show. They're going to be in the zone. So definitely watch that with Woe and his, I think that's an OG and Cap. So definitely come in, watch them, support them. So we were talking with Miss Lashaun McKenzie, talking about the joys of motherhood. She's a new mom. She had her beautiful son, the cutest little thing in the world, in November. So talk to us about what it was like, like after the birth, like, and getting back to like a schedule. Because I mean, there's one thing when you're pregnant. Oh, there he is. It's one thing when you're pregnant, but now that he's here, now he can't go everywhere with you necessarily, but we got to have a schedule. So talk to us about creating a schedule now that he's here.
Ooh, schedule? What's that?
schedule.
This boy's bedtime is like he don't start getting sleepy till about 11:30 p.m. He's downstairs up right now.
That's my kind of. I'm a night owl, so that's my kind of dude. Come on.
And the great thing about him, he sleeps in.
Mm.
He don't get up until like he wakes up only to eat. But his eyes be closed. He drinks his milk and he goes right back to sleep.
Yes.
He don't get up until like 10, 11 a.m. Yeah. Yes.
What? Wow. Okay. See, I can live with that. Live with that.
When I tell you that's my baby, that's my baby. Okay, because mommy sleeps. But as far as a schedule, I feel like I'm not gonna lie, it's hard because everybody just wants to hold him and love on him all day, and nobody wants to put him down, and so it's like he don't get upstairs and in his bed until late. So like there was one day we were talking and we're just like, okay, well, we kind of want him to get, especially because I'm gonna go back to work eventually, and the plan is for me to work overnights, so that we don't have to put him in daycare.
Okay.
And I'm a night owl, so I don't mind working overnights. But I'm like, okay, well, we got to try to get him on a schedule. So like when my fiance got to go to bed, he's not trying to be up partying. And so the family was like, what schedule?
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
he's like, go to bed. We got him. No. No.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. But
that's too funny.
Yeah, so I want to get him on a schedule because I mean, even though I wouldn't want him to go to bed at like 7 something, unless he really needs to, I'm gonna just be like, All right, bedtime. But I feel like I'm okay with like a 9:30 ish
Yeah,
time. That way, we can kind of bring it in whenever we need to. Um, but as far as like the daily, like I said, me and him sleeping, our day really doesn't start until about 12, 1 o'clock.
that's a good
Yeah.
day. It's
Yeah.
a good day.
And before it was just kind of like lounging around, but now he's like exploring the world, right? And so I'll
Okay.
try to do like little circle times with him, singing songs and stuff like that. I'll do tummy time with him, and I just try to do more of those things now. So that's really what our day consists of. I'll try to run errands sometimes, but he hate like now he's starting to love the car seat a little bit more. But
Right.
before, it's like if I was going out with him by myself, I'm cool with it, but I just know he's gonna be hollering for a good chunk of the time, and I would have to keep like reaching back, putting the pacifier back in his mouth. He starts hollering, spits it out, and it's just like okay, I can't keep doing this. So
Right.
then and then it I'm not gonna lie, it gives me anxiety when he's back there screaming because I'm just like, okay, how long are you gonna scream for? Like
Right.
not only is it like kind of piercing because his when I say his scream goes from 0 to 100,
Oh my
it sounds
gosh.
like somebody is like harming him.
It does give you anxiety. You're just like,
Yes.
please stop, please,
Yes.
okay, please. And you're trying to like talk calm, but you're still like, okay, we're almost there. And then you think, please stop, please.
Literally. Last week, we went out to meet some of my friends in the city. One of them was visiting from up north, and the other one lives here. And I left them maybe around like 9 o'clock. We get to the parking lot, and I change his diaper because he needs to be changed. And then I'm like, okay, cool. We're about to head out. He starts hollering. I'm like, okay, you gonna stop anytime soon? So I'm like, okay, maybe once I start driving, because once the car is moving, he's usually okay. Then I look and I'm
Right.
like, okay, well, it's almost time for him to eat, and I don't want to have to pull over on a random. So I go back to the parking lot. I'm about to get on the highway. I have to go back to where I was parked,
Okay.
in order to feed him. And then when I get to the back to try to feed him, he's like barely drinking and just looking up at me and smiling. And I'm like, you're lucky you're so cute because
Okay.
I'm
Because
like,
all you wanted was to see my face.
we are an hour away from home. My fiance is calling, where are y'all? I'm like, well, I had to stop and go back to where we was at because your son was
Right.
hollering. And I'm like, okay, well, I prefer to feed him 20 minutes early than to wait until we're 20 minutes in and still got 40 more minutes to go.
Right.
So, yeah, he's something. I love him, but he
Yeah.
hates car rides. And he's getting used to it though. I will say that because we've had to do like mini road trips and we've had to take him out a few times, which I'm like,
Yeah.
God, please just cover this car under your blood because he's not in his car seat right now. And
But you know
but,
what? It's funny because babies like respond differently. Now,
mhm,
my brother's youngest, when he was a baby, like as long as he was sitting in the car with just a diaper on and the air conditioner was going and we were playing Michael Jackson Rock with You, he was good. As long as the car was moving, the song was playing, and there was plenty of air conditioning, honey,
mhm.
Grayson was good. As
Okay,
minute we got to a red light, he'd be like, ooh. So we would get like, I would see a red light, and I would literally be like,
that's me. That's
still
that's
driving because I'm
me.
like, I can't stop. I can't stop. And I'm like, Lord, please give us a green light. There's the green light. And I
Right.
mean, it was like Rock With You on repeat because that was the only song that would, as soon as it, and he just chill. And he'd be like, we needed good old MJ. So that song will be on repeat. Now, my niece's son,
Mhm.
he was fine as long as he wasn't hungry.
Okay.
Once he got hungry, and it's like and I can't because
Right.
okay, so we need to just hurry up and get. And it's like, I know, and you're like trying to talk to them. And it's like nothing is
Mhm.
soothing at
Exactly.
all. And every red light made me cringe because I'm like, do y'all not understand? I need to get to this child. Like, I need to get him out of this car seat because he is pissed. Like, he hates this car seat right now. So,
Yes.
like, babies they're hilarious and they're all different for like what
Mhm.
works for them. Because we thought that we put him in the car seat like Grayson, he was gonna be cool, and he was like, yeah,
Right.
no. Nope, not at all. So I'm like, okay, short car rides. Like, we gotta run errands. No, we don't. And,
Nope.
I don't have
That
no
could
errands
wait.
to run.
That could wait.
Right, got a
I don't
to-do
want
list
that.
this long, and I'm like, I ain't got no errands to run. We gonna be in the house
Right.
chilling because I'm not that right there. I can't
Not
have the
trying to do
screaming
it.
because I felt like I was being a bad aunt. I'm like, oh, he's crying. They're gonna be like,
I feel
it's
like a
almost
bad
felt like
mom.
they could be like, he cried for like 20 minutes with you, didn't he? Like, you had my baby crying, and I'm like, so like, okay, he's gonna tell on me that I had him crying. So I'm like,
Right.
nope, he's staying in the house. We getting food delivered. Ain't gonna be no leaving.
Groceries delivered, food delivered, like
Everything. Like, I'm trying to do errands like virtually. I'm like, so is it possible that y'all can have this ready? So once I drop him off, I can just swing by
right,
and
and
pick
just
it
pick
up
it up.
because I'm not, I cannot have him in the car crying like that. I was like,
Oh
nope,
my
that hurts my
God.
soul. Can't do
Yeah,
it. Cannot do it.
that's
All
my
right. So your community on online,
mom.
have you had any moms that you don't know personally reach out to you?
I've had moms follow me,
Okay.
but as far as commenting and stuff, maybe one, and that was real recent.
Okay.
Other people are people like I've went to school with or grew up in church with that are kind of just like, oh, like we want to see what the final product is. Like, did it work? Did it not work?
Yeah.
Like, we're waiting for the next video. Um, because I'm not gonna lie, like you said, you plan to do something. Like I'll be like, okay, well I'm gonna upload this video today, and then the video don't go up until next week.
Right. Today is like relative. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it today.
Hmm.
Whenever today is today, that's when I'm gonna post it. Like, it's not
Right.
necessarily this day today, but at some point it's gonna be today
Exactly.
that I'm gonna post it. That's how the girl, like, I do that all the time. Like, people, and it's so funny because people be like, social media gotta be consistent. Look here.
Hmm.
Social media gonna get the consistency level I give it, okay? Because life be happening outside of social media, and I
Exactly.
can't tell life to stop. I gotta post. Wait a minute. Look.
Hold on just a second.
Okay, like, can you not need me in real life because I need to be on social media posting? No, that's not how it works. So
Right.
I completely understand. Like, I'll have videos sitting in my, and I'll be like, that should have went up 3 weeks ago because I was like, okay, but I'm just, then all of a sudden it's like photo dump, video dump. Just take all of this content
All at
right
once.
now.
All at once.
Just gorge yourself on content. There you go. Good job. Look, social media, it can wait. Out of
Right.
all the things we got going on, social media can
Hmm.
wait.
I don't know how some of these people be doing it. Really.
Girl, they got a team. I don't care what nobody say. Cause I be looking at some of like the camera quality and stuff like that. Ain't no phone. That is not an iPhone or a Droid. That's a whole
Right.
camera. Like, and it's somebody behind that camera. Stop playing. That is not on a stand. That's somebody walking with. You have a team.
Follow
It is me
behind
for
you
me.
like,
Right. That is me, myself, and I. Like, who's the producer? Me. Who's the director? Myself. Who the writer? I.
ah,
That is how we doing this. Me, myself, and our productions. Okay, that's how we
right.
doing this. So, hey, now your son, Duda, that is your IG tag, Duda's mommy. How did we get to this nickname?
Let's just start off with his name is Ezekiel. His nickname is Zeke or Duda, whichever one you go with. So
Lord
Duda
have
came
mercy.
up because his Mimi, my mama-in-law, she one day was just like, "Hey, doodle, like you're drawing doodling,"
Right,
and then one day it became Duda.
Duda. Because we just shorten everything.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Take this L
at
out.
first I just kept calling him Zeke, but then I was like, okay, I guess Duda's gonna stick. This
Okay, so Mimi is her. Is that part of her name or is that her title?
that's her title.
Okay, so she's not grandma. She's a Mimi.
She's Mimi.
What does your mom go by?
Grammy. She wanted to be grandma, and I was like, no, ma'am. I'm not here for grandma.
But she's gonna embrace it, and you gonna say no?
No, that sounds so old. Grandma. Hey, grandma. Mommy, can I call
She
grandma?
said, "You are not a grandma." And that's so funny because you have so many women who be like, "Don't you call me grandma, I'm this."
Right.
And here she is embracing it, and you telling
You
them
know what
no.
though? So she turned 60 last year. Sorry, mom, if you ever see this. I love you. She turned 60 last year, and this is her first grandchild. So she was just like, oh my
She
God.
was
Like,
ready for the title, and you just no, just snatched her
I'll
dream.
give you Grammy. I'll give you Grammy. My dad was
So
like, I'm like, Dad, what do you want to be called? Grandpa.
right,
I said, you know
so
what?
you gonna let him? You gonna let him take
I let
grandpa?
him slide because I was just like, I'm not gonna argue with you. With him, not arguing with you at all.
Right, she embracing a new stage of life, and you talking about some
Yeah.
nope.
Oh my god.
But like I think it was my oldest niece, my
Mhm.
sister's daughter, who named everybody. So
Okay.
everybody else just kind of fell in line with the names that we
And
already
that's
had
what
from her.
happened on my in-law side.
Yeah.
They're Mimi and Papa. So Zeke automatically calls them, well, he will call them Mimi and Papa unless
Okay.
he can't say Mimi and Papa and come up with something else, and then that would just be his name for them. But that's who they
That
are
is
right
so
now.
funny. It's like it was funny because my dad is Papa,
Hmm.
and then my brother's daughter, she was like, it's like she didn't hear Papa, she heard Pop Pop. So
Oh,
he called him Pop Pop instead of Papa. And we were at first, I was like, what is she saying? And they
uh
were
huh.
like, Pop Pop. And I was like, okay. So now that's what she called my dad for the longest
Hmm.
was Pop Pop. And I was like, that's funny. And my grandmother was living when my sister had her kids.
Hmm.
And my let's
Oh,
see,
that's
she
cute.
called my mom grandmama and
Hmm.
she called my grandmother grandma me, but she didn't tell us the distinction for a very long time. It was like in
Mm.
her head, that's how she saw them. So she'd be like, I want my grandma. And we'd be like, Mom. And she'd be like, or we'd be talking to grandma, and she'd be like, no, that's grandma me. Okay. And she'd be like, what's grandma me? We'd be like, Mama, no, that's grandma. Okay, look, ma'am, we get some name tags because that's mama and grandma to us. So when you say
Right.
grandma, we going to grandma, and she goes, that's okay. Fine. Grandma me, you have been summoned. So and all the kids after her just kind of fell in line with, Papa, Grandma, Grandma me, and then I'm TT, and
Hmm.
then my brother's just like Uncle Jared. So they just get their names. It's just Uncle. But I
Hmm.
mean, I was like, oh, okay. So you didn't want to tell the rest of the world the distinction, and she used to get angry with us. Like that's
Like
not
you
who I'm
supposed
talking
to
to.
know this.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't speak toddler. Okay. Like, I was like, okay, if you say so. So it's interesting watching them interact with different family
Hmm.
members, especially like, we'll just say older generations, but
Hmm.
but it's good to see those interactions.
Right.
And like, even my youngest nephew, he'll get in my dad's lap and pull on his beard and all this stuff. And it's just like, oh, like I love seeing them interact with grandparents. And now my parents are great grandparents. So
Oh.
yeah, it's so cool to watch that. I love that. So talk to us about your village.
Okay, so I will say my village right now is mostly my in-laws because all of my fiance's family is here. I'm
Okay.
from New York. I know you know this, but I don't know anybody else knows this. So my family, my parents, who are no longer together as of last year. Um, that was the roughest part of my pregnancy, by the way.
Yeah.
But they're there, my brother's there, all my aunts, cousins, like everybody that would be a part of who I would want to be around, they're up north.
Gotcha.
Everybody is from my in-law side. On a daily basis, it's me, my fiance, and then Mimi and Papa. And then we got TT Raven.
Oh,
who is away at NCAT, and but she's here this week because she's on spring break, and then um, TT Ray Ray. So we got TT Raven and TT Ray Ray. Um,
interesting. I
yeah.
love it.
So Ray Ray has 3 kids and her husband. Um, we see them not as often, but um, on special occasions, and then some weekends we'll either go down there or they'll come up here. But they are in Georgia. They're just like a little over an hour away, so it's not as easy commute. They're not around the corner.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much everybody. And then the his great grandmothers, one of them is closer to us than the other one.
Okay.
Um,
When you say his
so
great grandmother, your
Zeke,
baby's great
yes,
grandmother? I
yes.
was about to say your fiance's great grandmother is living. That is so awesome.
No,
Like
she.
I was about to
They were
say,
like, "Oh
what?
my god, you would have loved her though." But yeah, no, she
Yeah.
passed away. But my mother in law's mom is probably like 30 minutes away from us, so she comes over from time to time. And then my father in law's mom lives in like Rennes. I don't know if you ever heard of that area. It's near Augusta. That's their hometown.
I'm gonna say no, but I believe you.
Okay. So she's down that way. But I will say everybody's like, well, we got aunts and cousins and everybody nearby too, but these are the
Yeah.
people that we see on like the daily. Um,
Gotcha.
and everybody's super helpful. Um, like I said, nobody wants to put him down. Like if I if
Nighttime.
I just be like this, they'll be like, all right, bring him. I'll
Right.
take him. Okay, is it my turn yet? Like, can I have him? But it's really helpful, and I say that because like I know a lot of people, it's either them by themselves or just them and their significant other,
Yeah.
and I feel like those people I've had conversations with, and they mostly have gone through like postpartum depression and stuff like that because they don't have that community or that extra help. Um,
Yeah.
and for some it might be like, okay, well, I have too much help, and then other people is like, well, be grateful because I ain't got no help at all. you know
Right.
so it's like it all depends on like your perspective of the situation, because like each one is like complaining like, okay, well, I have too much help here or I don't have enough help here. Like, you know somebody needs to see, and mostly that person that has all the help needs to be grateful, because
Right.
as much as they may want to like spend so much time with their baby, and they have all this family and everybody wants to spend time with the baby, but it's like at least you have that
Yeah.
you know
Because if you need to
so
go take us some personal time, you can do that.
exactly. And I'm one of those
Absolutely.
people that can take that time. Like I signed up for the gym last week. I didn't make it. I was supposed to go today. But he got his shots, and I couldn't put him down. I was just like, okay, we're just gonna have like some comfort going on today. So tomorrow is the plan to go tomorrow. You'll see me on
Tomorrow.
TikTok whether I made it or not.
I'm gonna check in just to see. I'm gonna check in. All right. So we have heard you mention your fiance. Talk to us about your fiance. Now I've met him, y'all. He's so nice, and the way he looks at her. If my future husband don't look at me like that, we are breaking up. Okay, we
He
are
is
breaking up.
amazing. I'm gonna try to see if I can show y'all the getaway. I probably should have sent y'all a picture. Um, Lord, hold on.
I might be able to send one. Let me see if we can get a picture sent. Cause but he's so sweet,
He
y'all.
is.
Like I got to
He's
meet him
amazing.
and I'm always like, if you're my friend or somebody I care about, even on the slightest, and you're talking about this is my significant other, my first thing is like,
Well, this was us the other day. Can y'all see?
oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So he's a godsend. I don't know what I would do without him. I met him through a mutual friend of mine. So I grew up in church with her in New York. She moved here for high school. They went to
Hmm.
college together. She had like a little reunion in 2022, I think it was.
Okay.
Yes, 2022. And we met there, and then we exchanged information, like just on some type of like, we're looking for new friends kind of thing. Like we can hang out, explore the town. Like no necessarily like expectations, but like afterwards we find out that we both had like thoughts like that's my future husband, that's my future wife. Like,
I love it.
I always joke with him. I'm like, so we met the Sunday and then I traveled to New York and we spoke from Sunday to Wednesday when I traveled and then he went ghost. I was like, okay, I guess I'm not your cup of tea.
Oh,
So then I was there until like the following Monday. So like the Sunday I went to brunch with my friends and um he came to my mind. I was like, all right, let me text him. But I'm like, if this don't go well, we not like I'm not chasing you down. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
right.
So I just texted him like, hey, happy Sunday. I hope you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. And literally he responded back and we never stopped texting.
Oh,
And I'm like, well, if I didn't reach out to you, you wasn't going to reach back out to me. He was like, I just didn't want to seem too thirsty. I'm like, well, you
not I didn't
almost
want to seem thirsty.
like, sir, you almost lost
Not I
your
didn't want to
license.
seem thirsty.
He didn't want to seem as if he was like too much in my face, I guess, or something like that. So I'm like, I guess.
It's like I get
um,
what you mean. I think a little.
right. So we started spending a lot of time together and then ended up pregnant a couple months later. And so, I feel like we are like the same exact person. Like he
Yeah,
gets me, I get him. Like I feel like I can be myself 100% with him.
I
Um,
love that.
did not feel like that in previous relationships. And so like it's like literally a breath of fresh air being with him.
Hmm.
And so we are going to get married this year. Officially. Nothing crazy. It's probably gonna be like a courthouse wedding and then like in a couple years we'll do like a big celebration.
There
Um
is nothing wrong with that.
no, I know. And honestly,
Yes,
like over the past couple of years, like even before meeting him, I was like, I don't really think I want a big wedding anymore. Like I used to, and then I'm like, I don't really care for it.
now, in your defense, we have worked in the wedding industry as bartenders, and we have seen the things that occur when people will try to have those big affairs. And it's like, you know what?
I've
Nope.
seen y'all almost yell at people when y'all are coordinating those people, even just to get in line.
Girl, when I tell you, I need people to understand your wedding coordinator has taken shots. Okay. When they got you down the aisle, they went to the bar and was like, give me something right now. Okay. Because if you
Right.
don't, we're
Them
going to have
people.
issues. It's some people when I tell you they are so easy and you're like, oh my gosh, I could marry you every day. Just be here and just
Right.
walk you. And then some people, I'll be asking, like, how the hell you pull this off? How you do this? How you get somebody to commit to forever with you? How did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Because some of them, we'll be like people talk about bridezillas, groomzillas exist too.
Yes,
Okay.
they sure
And
do.
I'll be like, how you get somebody to be like forever? How you do it?
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? Because I'm looking at you right now. It's been 10 minutes and I'm ready to hurt you. So how you get somebody to be like, yeah, I'm gonna spend every day with
I'm
you
not
forever?
gonna
How you
lie.
do
I
that?
feel like some women out here nowadays, they be like, I'm gonna just take what I could get.
I refuse.
And that sucks
I refuse.
because I could never. There's
Mm-mm.
no way that I'm gonna sit here and be like, well, there's not many options out here. So, I already know you for your good
Single
and for
is an
your
option.
bad. Right.
Single is an option.
Because
And I
I've
mean, like,
always
if
said
you're
that.
gonna be miserable with somebody, what's the point? Like,
Exactly.
no, absolutely not. So, like, when I see like there are some couples, like there was one couple, they wrote rhymes for each other
Mm-hmm.
and then did the rhyme for each other in the in the reception. And what they were saying in their rhymes was talking about how the other one uplifts them and makes
Mm-hmm.
them better and makes the day easier. And I'm like, see, if I don't feel like breaking out in song like a Disney movie, I don't want it. Like you just see some people and you just see right, like you just see all the love for them, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you want them to be happy and all that stuff
Yeah.
because it's like it is rare to find someone.
Mhm.
So I love that you found, and every time you talked about him when we talked, your face lights up.
Still
And
does
I'm
till
just
this
like,
day.
it's lighting up now. And I love that. Because I mean, when you meet people and you're like, it's so sweet, and like, I can't
Mhm.
stand when really sweet people end up with like raggedy people. And I'm like,
Mhm.
look, I ain't saying we gonna hurt them, but if you need a flight of stairs, let me know. Because
Yeah, put your foot
just
out.
saying, we can have them
Put
work
your
at an
foot out as
event,
they
and then
starting to go down. You know.
I'm just saying, have them work an event, put a heavy box in their hand, and let gravity do what it do, and just make it work. Because I'm like, I would hate for somebody that's super sweet like you
Uh
to
huh.
end up with somebody that's not sweet enough. Hey, so I mean, are we like really attached to them?
Right.
Because
You might have
we
to. You might have to look into that again and make sure that's really what you're trying to do.
okay. Because it's like, are you
Mhm.
you sure you sure? Because give me a baseball sign or something,
Right.
because we can make this work. So I just love the fact, like, even when we all met so we could give you the stuff that we got for the baby, and
Mhm.
he was just so sweet. And I was like, oh, this
He
is
is.
great. I was like, I love it. I got such good
Mhm.
vibes from him. So I'm so happy for you and seeing
Thank
y'all in y'all
you.
pictures. And oh, there he is. There he is.
That's
This is
the
such
one
cute.
right there.
So I just want to point out that you gave birth to your fiance, because he has your fiance's whole face. He's like, I'm not gonna talk about that. He
I
looks
did.
just like him.
I swear, like in the beginning, he had some of me in him.
It's
He
like,
even had
this
some
is my
more
baby.
color to him, and now all of a sudden, it's like I'm all my dad. I just have your lips.
All dad.
That's it. That's it.
All dad.
So I'm
Because he
like,
looks exactly like him.
I'm ready to pop out the next one, so I can be like, "Will you be my twin?"
Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, there are some girl, like my sister, her kids don't look, she has 3 kids, they don't look like her. Like, all of them look like my oldest niece looks like our mom.
Mhm.
Her second child looks exactly like her dad, and her son actually looks like our mom too. Because like her oldest and youngest look, girl, they don't, none of them look like her.
I'm not ready for that.
Mm-mm.
It was a tough pill for me to swallow. And I'm like, so you're not even gonna have like at first it was like I could see myself like all the way. Like some days you would look at him as all me, some days it's all dad, some days it's the both of us. And then I was like, okay, well now he has like this part of me. Now I'm just like nobody could tell whose nose he has. Everybody says my family says he has my nose. His family says the baby has the dad's nose, and I'm like, whose nose does he have? Like,
I'm just gonna say he has your husband's face, and you can take that however you want to.
it's the eyes. I'm not gonna lie, it's the eyes. It's the eyes because it's the chinky eyes that he get from his daddy. I promise
I
you.
mean, because even now, I love you so much. I
You
love
don't
you so
no,
much.
you don't see it? No. Okay. It's cool.
So you're just gonna have to wear T-shirts to constantly say, "This is my baby." He looks like this.
It's okay.
And the funny thing is, like, everyone in our family, all the kids end up having our mom's nose.
Mm,
Like, you can tell, you're like, oh, there we go. Everything else, but everybody has her nose, so it's just like,
mhm.
there we go. But other than that, yeah, like my brother's son,
Uh-huh.
spitting image of him.
Wow.
Like, he looks exactly like my brother, and my brother looks exactly like our dad. So my nephew looks like a younger version of my dad. So it's like two versions of my dad walking around, and my brother and my nephew, because they both look exactly like our dad. And I'm like, yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's my dad twice.
You know those videos where it'd be like, "Mom," they should
Right.
do something like that, and they're gonna be like, "Y'all all have the same face."
Like it's literally like my nephew, my brother, my
Uh-huh.
dad. They look exact. It's the same face,
Oh my
literally the same face.
goodness.
And there are times like when my brother will be like, he'll be like, cause he's like 7, so he'll still
Mhm.
sit in my brother's lap every once in a while. And they'll, if you just like take a picture, and you be like,
Mhm.
y'all got the same facial expression at this. Oh my god, like he is the spitting image of
Uh-huh.
my brother. And I'm like, this is so funny.
Oh
And
my
like he'll say certain things, and I'm like, oh my god, you're raising you. What? So it's hilarious. I'm like, I am
it
loving
really
this. I
is.
love seeing it. I love it. All right. So guys, if you have any questions for Miss Lashaun McKenzie, or you want to share anything, you drop that in the comments. So while we are doing that, let's talk about, now I'm not gonna ask you to do the thing that I said I was gonna ask you to do. But y'all, while I'm waiting on y'all questions, I have to let y'all know this young lady is super talented. And don't think I forgot about your whole photography dream. I haven't forgotten about that at all.
So I
So
left that to my fiance because you see this little
really,
backdrop. We had to do a little makeshift quickly with the little space that we have where the computer is at. But that's a little backdrop that he had to set up for me so that it could look somewhat, you know,
so
professionalish.
we're not taking pictures anymore.
He'll do pictures.
Oh my lord. So the other thing that she is super talented, she can sing, y'all. Oh my god. So you know how you're on Instagram and all of a sudden, suggested for you pops up. So suggested for you pops up and she's sitting in the car singing. And I was like, at first I was like, I know that person. I was like, wait, I what? And I was blown away. Her voice is so amazing. It is like butter. Y'all gotta go. It's Lashaun. Is it still Lashaun Sings?
I think so. On Instagram?
Yeah.
I believe so. Hold on.
And I want
Or
to say I
Shawnee
saw her
Sings.
singing
I
on
think it's Shawnee
TikTok.
Sings. Yeah,
Shawnee
it's
Sings.
underscore SHAUNIE sings underscore.
I need y'all to go check her out. She was singing. And then I just caught you on the video singing with this one guy, the duet, and you're
Oh,
singing the It's a New Dawn. I was like, oh my God, and I love this song. And your voice is like made for that kind of stuff. So I was just like, OMG. Y'all please go check her out.
I think I'm just
Please go
over
check her out.
critical about myself. And like, I grew up in church singing. And I feel like since I've been living here, I haven't been singing. And so I feel like part of me feels like, and this is just the critical part of myself, that I lost it, right? So I'll do background vocals any day. But when people put me on the spot to just sing, I'm just like, I don't know how to
So,
sing.
from someone who's heard you, someone on the outside, you have not lost a freaking thing. Your voice is oh my, like it's smooth like butter, y'all. Like it's just, and you just glide through runs, and I was like, oh my god, like I could literally, every time I see a video of you singing, I listen to it probably like 2 or 3 times back to back. But I'm just like, I probably missed something the first time, so I'm gonna listen to it again, and now I'm gonna listen to it again just to enjoy it. Y'all, do yourself a favor, like. Girl, your voice is so
Thank
beautiful.
you.
So,
Thank you.
have you ever thought of like having a career in music?
I wouldn't mind it.
Okay.
However, I feel like for me, I'm at that place where I'm like, I need a trainer to kind of, there's certain stuff that I can do it only with certain songs. I can't do it with every song. So I'm like,
Okay.
I want to learn how to perfect it where you could give me any song and I
Right.
can just do it. And I think because I came up only really singing gospel music, so whenever
Mm-hmm.
I do anything else, it's like, might need to work on that just a little bit. But like I said, I'm super critical. My brother's a musician. My mom sings.
Okay.
So me and my brother are super critical about my mom singing. And so like, let's say I sing and like I might crack because whether I'm sick or I might just not have done a good breathing technique before I hit that note. My mom was like, "You cracked." You cracked.
She said, "Oh, you gonna come for
Like,
me? I
she's like,
am
not
both guns
like you
blazing."
cracked. I was like,
Yes.
all right, settle down.
And she said, mm-mm, mm-mm.
She
She
like,
said, "We
I'm
all on
with
this
you
critical
right
train."
now. But I did come up in a super musical family, and so like music has been a part of my life, and I'm trying to make it be a part of my son's life, and I'm trying for him to not be as shy as I am when it comes to singing. Like
Yeah.
he has a voice on him. I'm about to be like, baby, you better sing for the world to hear. Like,
Aww.
um, so we're working on him. I sing to him on a daily basis. So I'm hoping that something will stick when it comes
Yes. So
because
there was this video. Karen Clark Sheard
hmm
was holding Kiara's daughter, Chloe, and she sounded like she's like, "Let's go." Ah, and then all of a sudden Chloe's like, ah, and like she, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, Lord, if this child starts singing it, she gonna have an album by 3
right.
because you already know the family she come from, and
hmm
Kiara is a vocal beast. Like I love
Yeah.
listening to her. I don't care what she sings. Like I find herself on YouTube and be like, "What? We got a new video? Bam!" Like so,
I love Kiki.
girl, start singing with him right now. Just start practicing scales right now so he gets used to it.
I'm telling you, I think because like even when he's like crying and like you're rocking him and nothing's working, you start singing and he's just like, I'm like, yeah.
He wanted to hear your voice though. That's all that is. I can understand it. Y'all gotta go see it. I'm telling you. So the videos that I've seen, how many takes did you do before you actually posted the one that we see on the account?
50 million. Yeah. And
It
it's crazy
sounds
because like
great.
I would listen to it and it's like this minor issue. And I'm like, nope, because one of my friends that can sing are gonna see it and they're gonna be like, Lish, really? And so I was like, okay, delete, next one. And then I'm like,
And the
okay,
funny thing is,
well,
they probably wouldn't even notice it. It's just you.
it's me.
It's you.
Because
So
every
I
time I
mean, you.
post, even on my stories, they're like, oh my God, you need to post more often. And I'm like, I know, but it I'm gonna get myself together. I'm gonna get myself together.
I'm gonna need you to understand that you have a beautiful gift that the world needs to hear.
I know, I know.
The
And
world
I
needs
need
to
to
hear it.
start before God says, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and take it since you ain't using it.
Girl, don't you do that.
I
Don't you
know.
do it.
I know.
So I need y'all to just go on, find her online and just like and share so we can encourage her over and over again. Because when I tell
Please.
you, you're gonna love what you hear. You are going to absolutely love what you hear. You have such an amazing voice. I
Thank
love it.
you.
So before we sign off, is there any advice you want to give to first time moms that you have discovered on your journey so far?
Um, the way they say that there's no manual, please believe it. There is none.
Yeah.
Like seeing, like I said, we're going through this whole like trying to figure out what's gonna work for his skin right now. It's been a process because it's even to the point where like he's starting to like scratch, and so you can tell that it's bothering him, and it hurts
Yeah.
seeing him go through that, right? But it's like everything that we're trying is not working. So like you can't beat up on yourself because what even if you have more than one kid, what worked for one is not
Yeah.
gonna work for the next one. Like
Gotcha.
it's always a learning process. And then I mean, I know it's kind of hard to say this. Like I have a man that is really hands-on, and so it never feels like I'm doing it by myself.
Yeah.
So if you're not married or anything like that yet, get you a man that's going to be hands-on. It's really helpful for your mental, for your physical. Like it's super helpful. Um, Also, if you want to breastfeed and it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't make you less than a person, a less than
Yes.
a mom. Like if you can't, it's okay. Like I know people, and I, for me, I should say, like I was like, well, I want to breastfeed. I don't want to formula feed for several reasons. Um, the benefits of breastfeeding, like it's, a lot of great benefits for a baby when you're breastfeeding, but there's so many formula fed babies that are super smart, and
Yeah.
there's no difference in them. When you put them side by side, there's no difference. Or it doesn't make them any less than a child or whatever. Like, do not beat yourself up. I
Yeah.
have friends that couldn't breastfeed for their first kid, and now their second kid, and they're flourishing. Like, sometimes, your body might be going through something where it won't be able to produce as much. Do not beat yourself
Okay.
up. As long as your child is fed and they are happy,
Yes.
they are okay. And you will be okay. Do not stress yourself, because it's going to make the process, it's not going to be enjoyable to be like, the motherhood process is not going to be enjoyable, trying to sit here and be like, okay, well, I wanted to breastfeed and my body's not doing this. And as long as your child is fed and
Yeah.
they're happy and healthy, everything will be okay.
I love it. Yeah, I think because we feel like as a woman, we were born to be a mom, that
Hmm.
is supposed to come just so naturally. Everything's supposed to
Right.
just go, and we put unnecessary expectations and pressure on ourselves. So,
Hmm.
ladies, moms, you heard it right here. You're not failing because you may have to take a different route.
Right.
So, I think that's amazing advice. So, guys, it has been so much fun. Thank you
It
for stopping
was.
in. I love it, guys. So, this week, our Strive to Thrive exercise, okay? What I want you to do is really start giving yourself a little more grace, okay? We are so, me and especially, so I'm really saying this for like all of us, including myself. We put all these expectations on us. Sunday, we write our to-do list out for the week, and we write a schedule, and then we make goals, and we really have to give ourselves some room in case life starts to life, because it's really easy to set a goal and say, this is what I'm going to do. And then something happens, you get distracted, you get off track, and you beat yourself up, and then you don't start over again. So if something happens and you get derailed for a moment, give yourself some time to regroup and then start over. It doesn't mean that you are failing at life. It just means that sometimes life happens. So our exercise until next Thursday, and really all the time, is just give ourselves some grace, some understanding, be more forgiving for you than you are for other people. Sometimes we forgive other people and try to help motivate them, and we forget to save some of that for ourselves. So stay positive with you. Okay, maybe the person you need to be nicer to is you. So we will see you guys next week, next Thursday. Thank you, Mackenzie, for coming on. It has been absolutely
This was
amazing.
fun.
Yes, and y'all, please go check out her TikTok and her Instagram so you can see that little cutie pie, because he's so cute. And remember, you were designed to thrive. Stick to the plan. We will see y'all next Thursday at the dive bar.
Peace out.